What is guessing meaning from context? When you learn a new language, you encounter new words all the time. This is true even when you read about or discuss a familiar topic. In fact, even native speakers often encounter new words in their own language. So, what can you do when you find a new word? You could interrupt your reading and look it up in a dictionary. But interrupting your reading slows you down and makes it harder to understand the overall meaning. Besides, you don't always have access to a dictionary. This is especially true in an exam. So, don't stop when you find a word you don't know. Instead, keep reading and try to figure out what the word means. Use the information around the word to help you guess. This is called guessing from context. When you guess words from context, you're like a detective looking for clues. Let's look at some strategies. You can start by using grammar clues to tell you about a word. Look at the word's position in the sentence. For example, if a word comes before a noun, it's likely to be an adjective. Maybe the word is in the subject position before the main verb. Then it must be a noun. You can also look at parts of the word, like suffixes and prefixes. So if a word has a suffix ly, then it's probably an adverb. Or if it ends in the suffix s, it's likely to be a plural noun or a present simple verb. Prefixes and suffixes can also tell you about meaning. For example, dis or un are prefixes that show the word is probably negative. Okay, so now look at the rest of the sentence. What can it tell you about the word? Look for linking words or phrases. They tell you how the word relates to the rest of the sentence. You might find a synonym, definition, or explanation that tells you what the word means. Words and phrases that introduce a synonym, definition, or explanation include or, in other words, that is, such as, for instance, and i.e. You might find an antonym or contrasting idea that tells you the opposite meaning. Words or phrases that introduce contrasting meaning include while, but, however, although, whereas, or on the other hand. You might also find cause or effect that gives you a clue about the word you don't know. Words and phrases that introduce cause and effect include due to, so, because, therefore, leads to, or as a result. Another way to guess the meaning is to use your prior knowledge to understand the word. You might be able to guess what a new word or phrase means when it refers to something you have already learnt about. Now, you will sometimes find clues in the rest of the sentence, but if you don't worry, keep on reading. You might find clues later in the paragraph. Now let's look at some examples. Serious catastrophes such as earthquakes or hurricanes can cause a lot of damage to cities. Let's say you don't understand the word catastrophes. How can you work it out? First, look at the grammar to work out the word class. The word follows the adjective serious. This means it's probably a noun. It ends in s, so it's likely to be a plural noun. Also, the phrase such as always follows a noun. Yes, catastrophes must be a noun. Look at the phrase such as again. The phrase always introduces examples, so we know that earthquakes and hurricanes are examples of catastrophes. What is another word for something like earthquake or hurricane? Even if you don't know what earthquakes and hurricanes are, you can still use the word damage as a clue. The sentence tells us that catastrophes can cause damage to cities. What can cause damage to a city? Based on the context clues, a good guess for the meaning of catastrophes is disasters. Let's look at another example. Many people enjoy the hectic lifestyle of the city, while others prefer the calm and peace of the country. What does hectic mean? It comes between the and the noun lifestyle, so it must be an adjective. The word while is used as a linking word here to show contrast. So hectic must contrast with calm. Look at what hectic is describing. It refers to the lifestyle of the city. What is your prior knowledge about life in a city? What is living in a city like? Based on the context clues, a good guess for the meaning of hectic is busy. Next time you don't know the meaning of a word, try using these strategies. And finally, you need to know most of the words in a text before you can guess the meaning of a new word. You can't guess every word, so keep working on building your vocabulary. Now take the quiz to show your teacher what you understand.